Hi, my name is John Q, and I work at Socrata on the Truth and Ingress team. This team is responsible for getting data out of customers' hands and putting it reliably into Socrata. So we've been working on a product called DataSync that solves a number of different issues. But in order to sort of understand what DataSync does, we have to talk a little bit about what those issues are and how the old way of doing automated ingress worked. So on your side, normally, a number of different customers have a bunch of different databases. Maybe there's an Oracle database, maybe there is some MongoDB database, something like this. In any case, all of these systems eventually need to feed into Socrata somehow. And maybe they use FME or Kettle to do that. Well, previously, before DataSync, what we had is we had a little Java library that could be integrated in with a number of these different systems. But it had a number of different problems. First of all, this Java library would perform upserts or publish operations directly into the Socrata API. And this was susceptible to a number of network problems. Maybe there's a firewall in between. We accepted datasets through FTP. There were a number of different issues here that cause a lot of headaches for our customers. One of the big ones is that there was very little feedback from Socrata as to when an ingress job actually failed or why it failed. So we went back and forth, and we struggled with this for a while. And we eventually came up with a solution that is sort of interesting. Instead of using just this sort of lightweight little client library, we create a little bit more heft around the client side, and we call this DataSync. So this is the DataSync client, and you can pop it open on your desktop as is, and you can upload CSVs through different methods. But you can also, just like the previous library, integrate it in with FME and Kettle. It's just a lot easier to perform that integration, and we have some recipes that make that type of integration significantly easier. But what makes it really neat is that on the Socrata API side, we built a number of different back-end systems which take advantage of sort of this slightly beefier client-side application. One of those things is a system called Delta Importer. We had an earlier version of this called version 1, but the version 2 of this speaks two protocols. It speaks FTP and HTTP, and it also does an interesting thing where it can actually, in conjunction with DataSync, calculate the smallest diff which needs to be sent over the wire to Socrata from your internal data center. This reduces the amount of network traffic, and hence sort of will increase some of the reliability overall. It also implements a number of different sort of retry semantics and things to sort of ensure that the actual bytes of whatever you're trying to get into Socrata go ahead and do so in a reliable way. Once Delta Importer has it, it ships it off, and it begins analyzing the raw file. It reconstitutes the file using the different diffs and some information it had previously. It goes ahead and begins analyzing it to see if the changes are actually things that could be applied to the live working data set that Socrata hosts. So maybe this is the data set that you want to upload to with its 4x4. And this is the one that actually users end up querying. Delta Importer will take this and it will, again, calculate sort of the minimum diffs that need to be applied, and also whether or not it can apply those changes in a reliable way. And eventually, in the background, Delta Importer will go ahead and begin performing those upserts, or those changes to that data set, and make sure that it gets in there reliably. And at each point in time, from your side, you can actually query into Delta Importer and pull out sort of the list of jobs, what the status is, whether there's any errors. You can get a fair amount of information out of the system going forward. And this is a new way of performing automated ingress, and even some rich clients, some ingress just from your regular desktop as well.